I have a question about inflation and a question about growth. On inflation, I'm curious if there's anything that's happened since March that has changed your assessment of the risk of inflation increases beyond what you forecast in the year to come. And on growth, you mentioned fiscal policy is adding to growth. And I'm curious if you could break that down a little bit further for us and say, what effect do you think the recent tax cuts are having on growth?
Sure. So since I wouldn't say anything has happened since March to really change the way I'm thinking about inflation or the way the committee's thinking about inflation. We've seen inflation move very gradually up toward our 2% objective, and part of that has been just idiosyncratic things dropping out from last March, which were holding inflation, measured inflation down. Part of it is just that continued tightening in the labor market and the economy more broadly is pushing inflation up. So we continue to think, and the committee continues to think, that we are just about at our 2% goal, but as I mentioned, not ready to declare victory until we sustain that over time, which we haven't done yet. You also asked about fiscal policy, and there's a range of views on the committee, and I think more broadly a range of views among economists generally. But I can say that the committee participants generally believe that the fiscal changes, and that includes both the tax cuts, individual and corporate, and the spending changes, will provide meaningful support to demand, significant support to demand over the course of the next 3 years. And the other question is, what about the supply side? So it makes sense that if you lower corporate tax rates and allow faster expensing of investment, you will encourage greater investment. That should drive productivity. That should increase potential output. So that really ought to happen as well. I think the amounts and the timing of that coming in are also quite uncertain. There's also the possibility that there would be more labor supply from lower individual tax rates, again, in amounts and timing that might be more uncertain. So that's how the committee generally is thinking about fiscal policy.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.